single traveler had ever returned. Perhaps they'd reached their destinations, or perhaps their bodies had been buried by the sands. But no word ever came from them. There were some people in town who'd happened to meet such travelers. However, they'd only occasionally be able to raise some fragmented memory of a vaguely remembered face, and then turn their gaze to the gritty winds that ran along the edge of town. This particular day, the song of the bugs was much sharper than usual, and the faint pink rain seemed a bit late. So the townspeople looked out at the streets in the afterglow of sunset with a certain foreboding. The funeral dirge faded, as the time had come for those performing it to die. And that's when it happened. That's when the young man came to town. The Hidden. Chapter 1. 1. The sound of the bugs grew more intense, and the men encamped around the tables and seated at the bar turned their fierce gazes toward the door. Grains of sand became a length of silk that blew in, and then almost instantly broke apart to trace wind-wrought swirls on the floor. The door was shut again. Eyes swimming with indecision caught the new arrival. Was this someone they could take in, or should the newcomer be kept out? It took a little while before the floorboards began to creak. Time needed to decide which direction to creak off in. Done. The piano stopped. The pianist had frozen. The coquettish chatter of the women petered out. The men's noisy discussions ceased. Behind the bar, the bartender had gone stiff with a bottle of booze in one hand and a glass in the other. There was curiosity and fear about just what was going to happen next. A table to the left of the door and a bit toward the back was the newcomer's destination. Two figures were settled around it. One in black, the other in blue. Wearing an ebony silk hat and a morning coat with a hem that looked like it reached his ankles, one evoked a mortician. The deep blue brimless cap and the shirt of the same color that covered the powerful frame of the other were undoubtedly crafted from the hide of the blue jackal, considered by many to be the most vicious beast on the frontier. Both men were slumped in their chairs with their heads hung low as if they were sleeping. The source of the creaking footsteps surely noticed something very unusual about the situation. All the other tables around the pair were devoid of customers. It was as if they were being avoided, as if they were despised, as if they frightened people. Another odd thing. It wasn't a whiskey bottle and glasses that sat on the table before them. Black liquid pooled in the bottom of their brass coffee cups, which still had swirls of white steam lovingly hovering over their rims. After the creaking stopped, the two men didn't lift their heads, but every other sound in the place died when the footsteps ended. Several seconds of silence settled. Then a taut voice shattered the stillness. "We don't take kindly to folks with no manners, kid," the figure in blue said. And immediately after that, "You mistake, Clay," the other one remarked, his very voice so steeped in black that it made everyone else in the small watering hole tremble. "Well, I'll be," the first man said, his blue cap rising unexpectedly.